Hey, I hate to break it to you, but you're not as free as you think you are. Almost all of us place a restriction on ourselves and we don't even know that we're doing it. Every single day, we hold ourselves back, living according to rules we didn't even write. In my years guiding others, the one thing I encounter over and over again is this: everyone wants to be free. But the one thing that's missing from their lives, the one thing that's holding them back is permission. Permission from themselves to simply be who and what they want to be. And in this video, I want to talk with you about how and why we restrict ourselves and how we can break out of this cage of restriction. Because by giving ourselves permission to become whole, we become free. And free from attachment, free from outside validation, and free from the endless chase for approval. And 2025 is right around the corner, and I can smell it. This is our chance to rewrite story. Let's stop waiting for permission from the world. Let's give ourselves full permission to be every fucking thing we are. So why the hell do we restrict ourselves? Well, it all comes back down to conditioning. When we were kids, we learned what was acceptable. We were handed these invisible rule books, right? By our parents, the culture, and society. And we divided ourselves into what was good and what was bad. And then we pushed the bad parts down. And we suppressed them because we believe that's how we stay safe, loved, and accepted. But those parts didn't go anywhere. They're still alive in you. And repressing them is exhausting. It's like you're fighting this inner battle with your subconsciousness every day. And Carl Jung said it best. He said, "I'd rather be a whole man than a good man." Being good means obeying rules for external approval. And being whole means embracing all parts of yourself, the messy, the loud, the imperfect parts you've been told to hide. And wholeness is freedom, because when you're whole, you stop fighting yourself. And no one else is restricting you anymore now. So we keep the conditioning alive, the adult version of us. We're the ones following outdated rules, stepping on the brakes and judging ourselves. But here's the good news. We're also the ones who can set ourselves free. And when you give yourself permission, something incredible happens. You stop fighting. You stop fighting yourself and then others and life itself. So you let go of this inner battle, and from this place of freedom, you can be there fully for yourself, allowing yourself to do whatever you want, and you can be there for others with love and full authenticity. Now, it is fair to be said, of course, that this is not as easy as it sounds. It takes action, it takes trying, it takes moving through the discomfort, because when you are breaking patterns, sure the hell you're gonna feel discomfort. And this is the important thing. Once you feel discomfort, you know you're on the right path, but you have to push through then. You have to see. You have to expose yourself to the possibility of giving yourself permission, then give yourself permission, and once you move forward, then you can start seeing that everything will be okay. That actually, when you do choose yourself and allow yourself to be all the things that you want to be, people will reward you. People will applaud you. The real people that love you, they will fucking love it. And maybe it's messy in the beginning, but it becomes more natural over time. So you have to build this trust. And you can build this trust by doing. Now, here we're going to talk about some techniques you can apply to give yourself permission and also see where you restrict yourselves. So here's a technique for giving yourself permission. So let's create this personal rule book. Let's start identifying all the invisible rules you place on yourself. Ask yourself, what do I think I'm not allowed to do? So you can close your eyes and do this, right? Why am I holding myself back? Maybe you already have a big list, or maybe you don't. It is good to write this down, because writing it down makes it visible and makes you aware. So you can close your eyes and start asking yourself these questions, then write them down. But also, you can write them down when you encounter them in real life. So you can put it on your phone, you can put it in your back pocket, whatever, and just write down the restrictions you constantly have. And then the permissions you've denied yourself. Well, where are you waiting for outside validation. And then once you have written down everything, the rules, you can flip them. You can turn them into permission. So for example, if you're saying, I'm not allowed to rest, you can write down, I give myself permission to rest. And I'm not allowed to feel becomes, I give myself permission to absolutely feel. And this rule becomes your map for freedom. It might be helpful to close your eyes and imagine yourself giving yourself permission, and then imagining what is happening and sense that freedom that it gives to you. If you imagine that there's no limitation and that you will be safe and loved no matter what, imagine what happens then. See how you feel. What kind of freedom do you feel? And bring that to the now. But it takes that moment to reflecting, really slowing down for a moment. So another technique is inner child healing. So your rule book often reflects the restrictions you picked up in childhood. And that's where inner child healing comes in. So picture your younger self or hold a photo if that helps you and talk to them. Ask, what weren't you allowed to do? What rules did you have to follow to feel safe or loved? And then rewrite those rules. Say to your younger self, you are allowed to cry and feel your emotions. It's okay. You're allowed to be fully you. You're allowed to take rest and take up as much space as you want. You don't need to follow anyone's rules to be loved. So make this a daily practice. Ask yourself each morning, what am I not allowing myself to do? Then give yourself permission to take one small action at a time and start small, because it will feel uncomfortable at first, but this discomfort is a sign that you're growing. And so 2025 is right around the corner, and I don't know about you, but I am not holding back. So what if this could be the year you finally stopped waiting for approval? The year you stopped apologizing for who you are. The year you stopped asking for permission. Then the year you gave yourself permission for everything. Permission to feel, permission to act, permission to be. So imagine yourself stepping into 2025 as the fullest version of yourselves. No more hiding, no more holding back. Just all gas, no brakes, baby. So not just the light, polished mask version of yourself, but the whole version, the messy and loud version that is no longer needs to ask for permission. And when you no longer ask for permission, you step out of the cage of restriction. So give ourselves permission to be every fucking thing. Let's give ourselves permission to be bold, to take up space, to be vulnerable, to be unapologetic, to fail and to cry in public, to speak up, to laugh loudly, to be a disappointment, and to rest when tired. Permission to fully to feel anger, to feel that sadness, to feel joy fully, to feel fear without holding back, to feel love without fearing rejection. Give yourself permission to live fully, to change your mind, to start over, and to say no, to say yeah, and to walk away. You need it to begin again and to try something new, to quit something old, to succeed without downplaying, and permission to be imperfect, to be messy, to make mistakes, to take your fucking time, to not have it all figured out, and to not always know the answer. Permission to be selfish, to be wrong, and to be unsure. And the permission to be fully you, to wear what you want, to do what you love, to live in the moment, to follow your curiosity, to trust your instincts, and to ask for help when needed, and to let go of what doesn't serve you, and to love yourself unconditionally. So this is your life, and you are allowed to fully live it. No one else needs to give you permission. This was your birthright. You have just been conditioned to think otherwise, and you have started believing that. So take that key and start exposing yourself to permission. And then from there, you can open up the cage of restriction and become whole. So let's make 2025 this year that's for you. You are the creator of your reality. Let's make it a beautiful one.